That's more better. I got the bolts all nice and tight now. I got everything screwed down this side, and sometimes if your 1¼ screw doesn't want to suck into the OSB, sometimes it's kind of hard to do that, the OSB, because it's so thick and strong. If it starts stripping, take it out and put in a longer screw. I ended up using my 2-inch screws, because this is 1/2 inch plus 1.5 inches on the 2x6 behind there. That's 2 inches, and I thought, okay, fine. You want to strip out? I'll fix you. And so I took out an 1¼ screw, put the 2-inch screw in, boom. Okay. So I got my little. I got that. I put that in first before I started screwing the plywood on the outside. Over here. Okay. Got that all nice and tight. And then I got liquid nails from here up. Circle, 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 circle. I put in my screws. I've got screws up at the top bracket, way up there. Man, that's hard. I have to end up putting my drill upside down and holding it in my hand kind of funky, and reaching up there as high as I could to put that in there. Wow, I'm getting there. Look at that. Building this box back. Okay, so now I'm just gonna keep her going. And see, on this one here, I might end up doing that one next. So I get these bolts out of the way, so I'll have to beat on these two, and then I'll have to make sure to back them out. And you're like, well, why can't you just back those out, Joe? Put the 2x6 in there, and then run those right into the 2x6. Well, the 2x6 isn't really nailed to anything very, very good. In theory, those, if you don't have a hole back behind the 2x6, those could push the 2x6 away from the plywood. Okay, that's why I back those out after, and then secure the top, put some screws in there, put the mastic in there, do some pilot holes for those, and then as I'm putting it in, that will then suck the 2x6 nice and tight, just like that one. You can see right in there where it's just nice and tight, and up at the top it's nice and tight, because those lag bolts just sucked it in there, and that'll help bond the liquid nails in there. When that liquid nails dries, it's just like having nails and staples from the OSB plywood on the outside if you were building this thing brand new. So that's why I'm going through all the extra effort. If I didn't put any liquid nails, you know, it's like, what good is the 2x6 is going to do if I don't have it secured properly? Because just a screw from here into the OSB, this OSB is only 1/2 inch thick. You know, that could strip out of there. It's not really going to hold it too well if you don't have any liquid nail up there. Okay, so that's why I did that. All right, onward and upward with this next piece in here. And that one, it ran all the way down to the concrete, and I didn't want to have the Douglas fir touching the concrete, so I just put this block in here, a little scrap of my OSB plywood, okay, and I just set that there, and then I measured off of that on up, and then once I get the 2x6 secure, then I can slip this out of there, and it will just be, you know, 1/2 inch above the concrete. It'll still be sucked in there, because on the back side of that, you know, is the 2x6, that bottom seal. So I'm going to pre-drill some holes. Once I get the 2x6 in here, I'm going to pre-drill some holes down here, and then ram some 3-inch screws in there, because I got 1.5 inches for the thickness of the 2x6. Then I have the OSB, which is 1/2 inch. That's 2 inches, so I can't use my 2-inch screws. I can't, if I use my 2.5-inch screws, that only goes in to this wood by only 1/2 inch. So I'm going to use my 3-inch. So see, you can get screws all kinds of sizes. That's why I have all these boxes here. See, and I even ended up using some nails. I had the 8D. These are common nails. These are vinyl sinkers. And let's just have a look at those real quick. This is what I call a vinyl sinker. Being green like this, it makes it a little easier to get in to the wood. I don't like using the common nails. Common nails are the silver ones. Okay, I don't know why they're calling these common nails. These are called vinyl sinkers. Sorry about that. They said coated here, but the real name is vinyl sinkers. Okay, so I ended up using some of those for over here, because that 2x6, the 2x6 in there, I was trying to put some screws in there, and the screws were stripping, and see, it was having a hard time sinking in, countersinking into this OSB, because this OSB is solid. And so I ended up putting some nails along the side, and I had to be kind of careful doing it because I didn't want to rattle this too much or crack the stucco or anything. Crack the stucco out here, over there, or anything like that. So on most of the stuff, see, I ended up putting screws, and these screws sunk in really good because they went on that flat 2x6 that was over here. Remember? So I just plastered that. And then I got mainly screws up along this side and up in there, and then I just used some nails down on this because that one was already, that 2x6, I mean, it was 80% still good, 85% still good. That's why I decided not to take that out, because I couldn't really reach up in that one anyways. And it actually went in nice and solid, and the bottom seal I was able to nail and attach down at the bottom to, you know, the bottom plate. So anyways, I never know what I'm gonna need. I even got some 16s, but I'm not using any of those. I don't think I'll use any 16 vinyl sinkers on this project, because when I get ready to put these 2x6s in, you know, this isn't common framing, and so I'll have to put these pieces in, and then this piece, the 2x6 here and here, I'm gonna have to put in after the fact. I can't really nail anything down, plus this wood is 17 years old. Try nailing a 16 into 17-year-old wood. Think you're gonna get it in there nice without it splitting or doing, you know, bending the nails or anything like that. That's why I got my drill here, pre-drill screw holes if I have to, like these obviously I have to pre-drill these when I put the 2x6 in. I'm not going to ram in a screw, you know, 3 inches into 2x6 and the plywood and the mud seal. So see, even though you want to use screws in some places I still have to pre-drill, especially like up in here. I couldn't have screwed these in without pre-drilling this hole first. Okay, especially being up here, there's just no way I really wanted to do that. So that really helped me pre-drill it, do a starter hole, countersink it, or sink it in all the way, and then back it out a ½ inch for the plywood, and then all I had to do was just whoosh, push it right into the plywood, and went in nice and flat, and countersunken in everything without stripping out of the OSB. So different things you just kind of learn along the way. It's important when you put that on, you get a nice thick bead. You don't want to put your caulk gun all the way down to the wood. See how thick that is? Yeah, that's going to spooge out from underneath. That's going to cause a vacuum right in that area. Okay, just to let you know. Speaking of positive, you know, I could have looked at this and said, hey, I shouldn't have to do this. We just purchased the house. Somebody else should be responsible for this. And, you know, I'll probably I'll be ended up going back and talking to the owner and talking to the guy who built this and talking to different people on what happened and all this kind of stuff. But I'm trying to stay positive and stay focused. This is my classroom training area for you, so that you can see all the different things that I'm doing and you can learn from that. So that's what I'm taking out of this. I'm being as positive as I can, and I'm spending, you know, I could just do this whole thing without doing any videos. You know how much longer it takes me to make videos and explain things instead of just doing stuff? You know, it takes some time and effort. I'm doing that as a positive thing for you to teach you how to do things like Joe. Hey, I'm just an average Joe. If I can do it, yes, you can do it too.